Hello, welcome to H's Nerdbox. Now I try to explain some of my Star Wars thoughts in English, and it's about the Acolyte. For me, maybe for you also, when I heard something in the internet, rumors about Disney changed this, or this happens to this series, or they may put away a whole Star Wars movie, or they have issues with the casts or problems with the director, then I always freak out, because I think what's now happen again. And so what alarms me was some news, some rumors about the Acolyte, a show I really waiting for. And I heard rumors that Disney wants to fade this show out. They want to let it die like Rian Johnson's trilogy. What I would really love to see, because I think Rian Johnson is a good director. He had a bad script, he had some very bad ideas, but in fact he's a good director. He should do something under the reign of some guys who really know Star Wars and who wants really to care about the characters and the story and everything. So, okay, Star Wars has problems. That is everything what we know. And when I hear something about canceling a show, like The Acolyte will not happen, then I go like, oh, I have to make research. And the good news is it's just a rumor. Okay, it's just a rumor, but there's still some voices in my brain. They tell, it could be become true. But okay, I'm happy now, and I will believe it. It's a rumor, and The Acolyte will happen, because there is a great cast, and Carrie-Anne Moss, we know her from The Matrix, and she's in there, and that is good, and I hope they have good writers and good directors, and so I wait for this show, and I hope it will not be deleted anyway. But how comes this? How come this this feeling that Star Wars is always on the edge to something brilliant, or to something like, oh, you can throw it into the trash box? This has something to do with the last Disney shows, with Kathleen Kennedy. What I tell first, I thought, oh, they try to bash Kathleen Kennedy, maybe they're right-wing fanatics or Trumpists or something, some people like that. They want to push her, they want to bash her, they don't like her, and they tell everything bad about her. So I did not believe it, but more and more in her reign about Disney, Lucasfilm, and the Star Wars things, I had to apologize and tell, oh, there must be something real about all this stuff, what they tell about her. And now I realize she really interfered into the story, into production, and she disturbed the working progress of creative people. That is what I now guess from many things, many informations I have, or I find on the internet, and I think it's true. So, but this is nothing new to Star Wars. As I told you, Star Wars is always on the edge of brilliant or throw it into the trash. So this happens very early. When I was 13 years old, I get The Art of The Empire Strikes Back. It's a book where you can find art of Ralph McQuarrie and of all the makers of Star Wars, what they try to invent into the second part, The Empire Strikes Back, in the early 80s. And oh my God, there were sketches where Yoda looks like Santa Claus. And many things, what I think they do not fit. They know they used it then later for The Mandalorian, but okay, I thought there are many things they do not fit, and oh my God, thanks God they do not use it. But this is a kind of good luck. They were close to do something what maybe not works, and they did not, what is brilliant. Okay, so episode 4 and episode 5 were in any case brilliant shows where I can't anything criticize on this. It's great. The best parts of the trilogy. And then with Return of the Jedi, turn around. That's not a good. I go in this direction. Then with Return of the Jedi, there something happens what I thought as a fan when I watched the movie. First, when I watched the movie, I was totally blown away. But then the next day we went to the movie because we had two tickets for the premiere, and then we want to go on the next day for when the firework is over to see the movie with other eyes. And yes, we thought, oh my, yesterday we saw this big brilliant thing, but now after the firework is over, we thought there are some issues with this. We were no children anymore. We were on the edge to become young adults. Okay, Jews, and not Jews, like young people. Okay, not okay, Jews. And then we thought, these Ewoks, I don't like her. I don't like these Ewoks, and still till today I don't like it. And when you see the history of Star Wars, the most bad decision were to fire Gary Kurtz. They fire him because they tell he goes over the budget. His ideas were too expensive. But this is Star Wars, and if a producer do not take any risk and tell, okay, let's do it, because I think in the future it will be great. And if not, if it doesn't pay out, we created something wonderful. And this is something I think Gary Kurtz want to do. But Lucas, he fired him, and then the people tell, also in the tone of Star Wars, there was a changement, because Star Wars becomes then, with Return of the Jedi, more like for young people. Okay, Star Wars is always for young. They tell, no, it was not. Because I know when I was a young guy, I liked Star Wars because it was grown up. It was for children. Children liked it. Children like the space stuff. They like the aliens. They like the spaceships. They like the robots. They like the worlds. Okay, but grown-up people also like the setting of Star Wars, the Empire, the war. It's war, please. If you say, oh, Star Wars should be for children, then tell it Star Peace or Star Agreement. But it's Star Wars, and there's war, and there's bloodshed, and there is violence. So what? Okay. They put Gary Kurtz out, it changed the tone, and we sensed it. As young people, we sensed it. Return of the Jedi was really different. Okay, time goes by, and now then Disney take over. And I think because of Return of the Jedi, people who wants to produce Star Wars, they do not really know where it should go. Should it have a grown-up tone like episode 4 and 5, or should it be more for young, very young children? Okay, Andor is great, because Andor is something I really appreciate because of its grown up and solid stuff. It could have more space battles. Yes, I would love to have this Anto Krieger thing. They could put it in every episode, 5 minutes of Anto Krieger, and then they blow him up, they betrayed him. Wow, big battle in the last episode of Andor, but they did not do it. Bad decision. Because Andor is great. Then they had all this stuff with this new trilogy, with Rey, and with this bad plot, like a copy-paste of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and Return of the Jedi, a third Death Star. Okay. I was really bored, and all this, the characters, they had good characters. Rey is something you can really make some good story about her. I had some ideas about, but okay, it's done. And Finn, give him more space to grow out of his stormtrooper role, and give Poe more time to really fit in his role for the audience, that we can say, yes, okay, it's a kind of Han Solo. It's not Han Solo, but it's kind of, and we agree it's good. But they did not do it. They throw it into the production. They want to make money. I think it's normally Star Wars took 3 years into the production in the 70s and 80s, but they're 2 years and they present us their stuff. And for me it was like I put my friends who are not Star Wars fans, they are moviegoers, they are cineasts, they like the trilogy, the old trilogy, they like The Mandalorian, because they see it on a cinematic point of view. And they like also Sergio Leone westerns, like I also like, and all this stuff where George Lucas and Steven Spielberg grow up with. And okay, what we get presented by Disney was really so many bad decisions and changings. And then it started that the internet tells Kathleen Kennedy interfere in so many things. And for me as a fan, when I hear this, to close now the circle, when I hear this, I say, oh my God, they changed again something. The Acolyte is cancelled. No, please don't. Now I find out it's not, but still it could be. Then what is really bothering me, and this is something I hope it will not happen even more than my sorrows about The Acolyte, is Andor season 2. They had problems with the writers, not directly with the writers, but with the situation because of the work, the payment and everything. And there was some writers community, they make a protest or something, and they tell this has influence on making Andor season 2. All this stuff really bothers me, because in the past I have seen that George Lucas had so many times a good hand, good luck to not do something stupid. And for some reason, if you see someone who is balancing on the edge and it goes good, okay, he managed this, you know, there can be, when his amount of luck is gone, then it will be catastrophic. And when I learned about Star Wars and the making process, about the old trilogy, then I thought George Lucas really used his amount of luck, and maybe things now will go bad. And it also starts with episode 1. I completely forget about the prequels. The prequels had a really good story. I love the story. It's great, but it should have a better director. And I heard that George Lucas really want to have other directors for his new trilogy, but they don't want. Can I turn back time and tell these people, please let George be the one who's to tell the stories, who makes the screenplay, who creates the screenplay, but please, you guys, make Star Wars. Go into the director's seat and do it. Okay, so the problems, in my opinion, started at this time, and George Lucas really get finished off by the anger of the fans during the prequel trilogy, and I also had many problems with the prequel trilogy. But now in the coming years, or in the past years, I made my peace with all of this. Okay, and comparing to the Disney trilogy, the prequels are masterpieces. Okay, they had some bad decisions. Okay, sorry, my language is German, not English. I try my very best. But one of the biggest mistakes also was Jar Jar Binks. I think, okay, there are many fans of Jar Jar Binks now. They would have the big tattoo on the back with Jar Jar Binks, because this guy will match the target. Okay, for me not. Okay, but okay, now time goes by and Jar Jar is, okay, he is there. But at the time when Star Wars Episode 1, 3 and 1, 2 and 3 came out, Jar Jar was really something, okay, a mistake. One of the first, the next bad decisions. George Lucas director's chair, Jar Jar Binks. Okay, and this is it. Okay, I will not make a big thing out of this. But when it comes to Star Wars, I say I hope they get a better hand now in the future, because now it's in the other way. They had made now many mistakes. Now the time has come to make better decisions, and the force may be with them to create some more grown-up stuff. So, okay, to come to an end, when I read some bad news about Star Wars, I always shiver, because of I love this franchise. I have grown up with this, and I really hope that even Kathleen Kennedy or someone else have now the capability and the ability to create something what really works. And this is what I want to have for Star Wars, and with the Acolyte I really hope it will be. Please don't interfere into the production. Don't tell the people what they have to do. Let the artists work on what they think is art, and give us something Star Wars that touch our hearts. So that is what I want to tell, because I'm a big fan. So if you want to stay tuned or stay informed about my thoughts about books, sci-fi, Star Wars, series, then yeah, go on my channel by time and watch my clips. Yeah, that's all what I can say. So bye, till next time.